I love that he had the courage to hang dong in a public pool.
Despite all of his experience eating tuna out of a can, he's terrible at it.
Hey, yeah, good to see you at the lake. Dude, by the way, did you see my dead parents? And the guy's like, what? And he's like, huh?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Movie Club. We are your bad movie boys, Matt, Tommy, and Collie. We've done it. It's been a while, but we finally decided that we're going to review a Neil Breen movie. This is going to be the first in our series that we are calling Breen Cuisine, which is our dedication to Cornelius Breen Jr., the man behind many of our favorite bad movies of the past 2 decades. And really, what better way to start this all off than to start with his ambitious directorial debut, Double Down. So let's start with the story. The first 30 minutes or so of this movie are just Neil Breen talking about how cool his character Aaron Brand is.
The first in my class in college in computer science. I joined the military and became a fighter pilot. I've always lived between this world and the other. I'm now a covert agent, a mercenary. I met the love of my life when I was 7.
So if Neil was 7, then she was negative 23?
I joined my country's secret strategic support branch of the Defense Intelligence Agency.
You're probably thinking, how did he achieve all of these insane achievements? And well, he explains it that he actually did it with quite the modest setup. You see, Aaron Brand is the best at everything because he has 2 satellite dishes, 5 laptops that are always off, 6 cell phones, 2 guns, and some tubes of bioterror juice.
And don't forget about the tuna.
While we're on accolades, he may very well be immune to mercury poisoning because I'm pretty sure that much tuna should have killed him.
I don't need much to live on anymore. I just eat tuna out of the can and live in the car.
And we also get to see that despite all of his experience eating tuna out of a can, he's terrible at it.
I think that's every accolade that he attributes to himself in the beginning of this movie. He is truly a man of many talents.
Just not writing or directing or acting.
This movie really does sound like it was written by a small child who has accidentally read a Jack Reacher novel.
The fact that I became so individually, electronically powerful scared my government, as well as others. It was that power that caused them to assassinate my fiancée and break my heart forever.
This made him reevaluate what he was doing for his country and think that maybe other countries would be interested in his service. So we can add to that laundry list of things that he is now a war criminal. But enough about this character's backstory. We want to know what the plot of this movie is. And at about the 40-minute mark, we finally get it.
My orders from another country are to shut down the Las Vegas Strip.
Doesn't seem that hard.
For 2 months.
Why?
Why?
As a man with all these accomplishments and high regard, how can Aaron do all of this without getting caught? It's because the government doesn't dare to even try to kill him. He's hid biological bombs in 7 cities across the world. And if he doesn't send a coded message to it every 3 days, boom, they explode.
I imagine if you're like Sweden and you're like, well, he's only got 7 in the world. Should we roll the dice and take him out?
But if anyone does try to kill him, well, that also won't work. Because you see, Neil has invented an invisibility shield that if anybody gets close to it, it causes death. Aaron Brand has bioterror juice weapon things. And he tests these biological weapons by giving them a little shake into a lake and seeing how many fish are killed. For being such a highly regarded scientist, assassin, hacker, you'd think he'd have a better way to test his biological weapons.
I mean, also, doesn't he kill criminals for fun? Like, you're gonna test this on a waterway full of fish where people probably swim.
Nevada's only source of water.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's okay. I mean, it's not like they're fucking landlocked.
But how does he make these bioterror juices? He lives out of his car. Maybe that's what comes out of him from eating so much tuna.
Yeah.
He went to the doctor and he's like, Doc, I really don't feel good and my piss is red.
So, Neil, I feel like whatever you're consuming or doing with yourself over the course of the past few months needs to change because you dissolved my test tube.
And oh my god, you also dissolved your testicles. Because that's where pee is stored.
God damn it.
Enough about his present life. We get to see a nice flashback of Aaron while his unnamed wife was alive. He's hanging dong in a public swimming pool.
Vegas, baby.
You can actually see his cock in this scene. You could straight up see his shaft.
Oh.
As soon as they're engaged, it's time for the government to make its move and bring Aaron back to reality. They line up his wife in their crosshairs, then they line up Aaron's forehead in their crosshairs, and then they line up his wife's back in their crosshairs.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, Neil, your wife's just been shot. Can you give us your best despair emotion? That's an odd reaction, Neil, but I think we can work with that. Oh, dear God.
I love how he probably told the actress, like, make sure to be modest, close your legs. And then he's like, would you like to build a snowman?
At least we can see, though, that Neil hasn't been eating any microplastics.
You wonder why penises are shrinking, taints are shrinking, testosterone is declining in both male and female babies?
Because his gooch has not shrunk. So, like, his wife dies, she gets shot, and Neil Breen does the thing that Neil Breen does best, which is cover himself in the blood of the victims in the scene. Dude, get out of the Holiday Inn pool and get some help.
Where do you get all that blood from? Like, she gets shot. There's no blood. She floats away. There's a little bit of blood. His face is now covered in blood, along with a white flower that is now red. And then when he floats next to her, there's a little bit more blood.
I really wanted it to just like pan a little bit to the left where there's like a vacation dad. It's like looking over and just being like, what the fuck?
Like a lifeguard, like up in the big chair. Like,
Sir, if you're bleeding, get out of the pool. Wait, are you that same guy with the tuna? Get the fuck out!
Hey, what are you doing there? Are you eating 2 pieces of chicken with cheese and bacon in between it? After all that, then he's changing his license plates, and he goes, I'm constantly changing my identity. No, he's not. He's Aaron Brand. He's the best at everything. How could other governments find him if he kept changing his identity? Does he think that changing his license plates changes his identity?
hey, now I'm from New Jersey.
Imagine he gets pulled over and they're like, sir, can I see your ID? He's like, what, officer? Haven't you seen my license plates?
As he digs into his pocket, and then as the cop leans in, he's like, pocket tuna, and drives away.
It looks like he's like laying on the ground and his face is melting like in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Ah! The bioterror! So Neil Breen meets up with this man whose office is a spirit Halloween.
I'm not going in your office buildings. I know they're all bugged. Not to mention the skeletons that are in there.
He's talking to this guy. I don't know what they're talking about. No matter how many times I watch it, I do not know what they're talking about. But I love his attempt to make this sort of a timeless terrorist movie.
Bigger than 9/11 or any of the other larger catastrophes we caught in time after 9/11.
You can't take the chance that the year after this comes out, there's gonna be like a double 9/11.
Not in 1822.
Like, what would have happened if there was a worse terrorist attack? And then he's just like, oh, this is terrible. This tragedy. The premise of my movie is bad now.
Yeah, this was the straw that broke the camel's back.
We get some stock footage of the Vegas Strip and some rips of Neil's old Girls Gone Wild videos. After all this is where the movie really starts to pick up. So Neil goes into the desert again. He stumbles on a desert gnome, and we all know the lore. You find a gnome in the desert sea, leave him alone, and you'll get wishes 3,
Yep.
right? We all know that.
Yep.
So, but this mythical being, his mind is being blown that he, the desert gnome, is seeing Aaron Brand. He gets up, he starts walking. Oh, oops, he trips a little bit, he hits his hip on a rock, and bad luck for Aaron Brand, causes shockwaves to flow through the gnome's body, and his brain explodes outside of his skull. So Neil tries to help, and the old man gives him a piece of pyrite before he dies.
I'm the one? I am the one.
After the old man falls down and didn't have his jitterbug to call for help, so he died, and then Neil buried him in the desert. Oh, Neil also doesn't check to make sure that he's dead. He just buries him. And this is where he just is screaming, "Where are you?"
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?
So that after this "Where are you" fiasco, Aaron Brand is at dinner with, I think, his family.
The first thing it does, like when he gets to the dinner that you assume is with his family, he's like, "Hey, yeah, good to see you at the lake. Dude, by the way, did you see my dead parents?" And the guy's like, "What?" And he's like, "Huh?"
My parents? No, never mind. You know, the public perception of what we do for a living really constantly amazes me. They think all that we do is drive around and get caught up in spectacular car chases and huge buildings blowing up and wild gunfire and so on.
He's definitely that uncle that no one wants to sit next to at Thanksgiving because he does his own research and the government has no way of stopping him.
Speaking of secrets, there is one we want to share with you. Our daughter Megan was just diagnosed with brain cancer.
Okay, Neil, we had a little bit of a hiccup with your reaction to your wife dying, so let's try this next one. You were just told that your granddaughter has brain cancer. And go.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, maybe she got brain cancer from only eating plastic fruit at dinner. Anyway, so Aaron touches the little girl's head with the pyrite, and he like rubs it like a magic 8-ball. It's supposed to cure her cancer. And he completely believes this. He goes back to the desert where he talks with his dead wife, whose skeleton he keeps in a sleeping bag in the middle of the Nevada desert. He talks with his dead wife and he says, "Honey, I cured cancer with this rock. I think I can bring you back from the dead." Which would be terrifying because she's just a skeleton now. This happens, so he talks to his dumb dead wife and he says, "I could bring you back with this pyrite." And then he meets up with someone in the parking lot of a Home Depot. Some guy, and also his maybe son.
Let's move away from the cars. They may be wired.
One of those is your car, Neil. Like,
I mean, he's not wrong. Cars do have wires.
and then we have the hit car with cart scene.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. No damage.
Just what a terrible plan. Because if you hit someone's car, they're going to immediately look at where you hit it to see if there's any damage. But I guess this lady knows Aaron Brand and knows that he's a fucking moron because she hits his car with the cart and the tracker is clear as day. And Aaron Brand goes, "That's okay. No damage."
What do you have for me this time? Cryptography? Hacking into a banking system? Shutting down a power grid for a major city?
You know, that would be a good way to, I don't know, shut down the Vegas Strip for 2 months?
Fixing an election? It's all easy.
You're a genius. The best. But you know that. No. This time, it's personal. An assassination. We want to kill someone. By killing their loved ones, we'll destroy their spirit.
Hey, Neil, can you kill someone? Sure, who? Up to you, man. All right, see ya.
Yeah, whoever you want, man.
Yeah.
We're in for the ride. This is gonna be fun.
But then they say, like, you know what? Actually, scratch that. How about you instead just kill their loved ones, and then they're just going to get really sad and stop being a terrorist? Like,
They tell him to kill somebody, and then Aaron pays a valet $200 to take a Rolls Royce for a test drive. He goes to a wedding drive-thru where he picks up some newlyweds, who the groom happens to be wearing Aaron's formal dinner attire from the night before.
I can't believe we did this. I've only known you for 2 days.
That's all it takes in Vegas. Why did you wait so long?
he knew his fiance since they were 7, and he waited till he was 60 to propose? Why'd you wait so long, Neil? Huh?
Well, because when he turned 60, she finally turned 18. So that's why, yeah.
Would you like some champagne? Congratulations again. We'll be at the hotel in 10 minutes.
Oh, we'll be at the hotel in 10 minutes, even though the car's not moving. Here's a good travel tip for anyone who hasn't been to a lot of places. If a strange man you don't know picks you up in a car that you did not call, and makes you a drink where the fruit that he puts in the drink he touches with his bare hands, that's a pretty big red flag. And then not driving the car, but still pretending like it's moving and trying to sell you the fact that it's moving, yeah, you're gonna be in for a bad time. So the bioterror juice / blood that he puts in the strawberry, it straight up kills the guy, but then the woman is only paralyzed from the neck down, and she also lost all her memories.
But I can't move. What happened? Where am I? And who are you?
And Neil Breen gets real over the line with what he says to her.
We're in Las Vegas. Hey, last night we went to the club, danced a lot, drank a lot, laughed a lot, had sex out by the fountains. Then we went down to the strip and we got married. Hey, this is Las Vegas, baby.
And we were raw dogging it all night. And she's like, oh God, no.
I mean, why did you spare her life only to drive her immediately to suicide?
Well, but she's paralyzed, so it's even worse. She can't do anything about it.
She can't take a shower. She can't burn herself alive to get rid of the filth.
Right. Imagine you were in like a coma, and so like you can't move, but you could hear and understand everything that's going on. And Neil Breen is talking to you in detail about raw dogging you in public in front of the Bellagio fountain.
This is Las Vegas, baby.
So Aaron calls it in, and he finds out that he accidentally kidnapped and murdered the wrong newlywed couple.
What do you mean I picked up the wrong couple? Shit.
He's like the McDonald's drive-thru of assassinations. It's like, yeah, you got something, but yeah.
Right? Did you get food? Yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna give you a discount on your next assassination. Sorry.
So apparently the couple that he was supposed to pick up went to the lake and committed suicide.
They committed suicide. Suicide pact. They knew what was coming.
This is just like, there were scenes like this that I didn't even know what to say because it's so dumb. Like, there's not even anything funny dumb about it. Somehow these two people shot themselves in the forehead while staying perfectly upright. So he killed the wrong people, but then the right people killed themselves.
Convenient.
Aaron Brand is walking along the Vegas Strip, and he puts about a cup of anthrax on a stranger's arm.
Oh, excuse me.
Anthrax, of course, being an airborne virus, most most effective when pasted in globs on someone's arm.
Oh, excuse me.
I think Neil Breen went on record as saying that that scene is the only time in his life he's ever worn a rubber.
Once it gets into the air, it kills immediately on contact.
He is just what? Loosely carrying around anthrax in his pocket? Wouldn't he be dead long before he could slather it on someone's arm? There's no way that the guy who he put all of that anthrax on didn't notice. Because, like, I've been to Vegas. The last thing I want is anyone to accidentally touch me while there.
Once it gets into the air, it kills immediately on contact. He'll be dead in 5 minutes.
So immediate or 5 minutes? You're sending mixed signals here, Neil. He does this for no reason. It has no meaning. There's no reason why he did this. It doesn't move the plot along. There is no goddamn plot. He just, oh my fucking God. So anyway, then he calls his lady friend and he says, it's Eric.
Amber. Hi, this is Eric.
This is the first time he calls himself the wrong name. And he says, I need you to help me with a setup. I'll pay you $100.
I want a private meeting with you now. It's urgent. Don't ask how I found you. I know everything.
He picks up this guy with an obviously fake mustache and goatee, distracts him with the woman he hired for $100, and gives him the bioterror juice. And he meets up with his son / other mercenary. The relationship is still foggy. And the guys are looking into the car and they don't notice anything's wrong. And then Neil Breen rips off the fake mustache.
Great, Ferrari. Who's your friend?
Holy shit, it's him!
Gene Parmesan, how you doing?
Then there's like a short scene after this where the woman that he hired to show her shoulder in a parking lot was murdered.
They finally got to her. She's gone. The CIA has just lost a good agent.
So the prostitute he hired was a CIA agent? And she accepted the job to seduce a man for $100? So Neil Breen and his son, they meet up with Maynard James Keenan in the middle of the Nevada desert. They exchange the bioterror juice for anthrax again. Somebody fumbles the bag and drops it.
It broke open. Run!
Well, I guess they immediately die in about 5 minutes.
I want you two to take credit for this bust. I don't want any part of it. Congratulations.
He's too smart for us. Magician.
You know, I was gonna make a joke about this, but this is Vegas. So I can imagine there are probably a higher amount of per capita crimes done by magicians than anywhere else in the rest of the US. And it must be pretty frustrating trying to actually apprehend a magician because most magicians' main trick is they can just get out of handcuffs.
You know, the problem with handcuffs is that they sometimes don't seem to work, especially on someone who knows actual magic.
At this point in the movie, the plot has really sort of run out of steam. And Neil Breen then goes back to what he does best. He just starts listing more accomplishments that Aaron Brand has that he forgot to include in the first 30 minutes.
The Bronze Star. The Medal for Gallantry in Action. And I've never been so proud of our troops.
At this point, Aaron Brand is having a complete mental breakdown. He's throwing tantrums in the desert.
I can't go on with this. I can't go on with this. I'm an American. I love this country.
He's having this mental breakdown. I think he's just having like a constant heat stroke. Because even in the movie, he does not look good. He is very red. And he only eats tuna. He doesn't drink any water.
Yeah, there was one scene in the whole movie that took place inside, right? He's got no protection from the sun. His brain is literally boiling in his skull.
He says it's time to begin the attack. And he also somehow has a small child at this point.
It's time to begin the attack.
I don't like where this is going, but it's part of his plan, I guess. He also just leaves the kid in the middle of the desert. I was following this movie pretty close up until this point. This is where it really started to lose me. He is screaming, leaves the kid in the desert, throwing a tantrum. He cuts a tracking device out of his arm. He starts yelling at his reflection in his car windows.
What are you looking at?
I wanted to welcome all of you to Las Vegas again. You have nothing to worry about.
That has the immediate opposite effect for everybody. Worried about what? What would I not be worried about?
I think what happens is Aaron, not Neil Breen. Neil Breen himself is not the terrorist. Aaron is the domestic terrorist. Aaron gives the command to blow up the bombs in the 7 cities.
The diversions have begun. Las Vegas and the others won't know what the hell hit them.
But then realizes, shit, I actually live in one of those 7 cities. So then he says he's trying to stop himself from blowing up Vegas.
The small diversions have started and I can't stop them now. But I can try to stop my main attack plan on Las Vegas. If it's not too late.
What a terrible, you know what? I'm going to hide these bombs in these 7 cities, but you know what? I live in one of those cities. Let's hope these don't go off, and I remember the code.
We've peeled back another layer of the Breen onion.
The Breenian?
Yeah, the Brunion.
Oh, God.
No, we saw his Brunion in the pool earlier.
These are just small distractions compared to what's going to happen to Las Vegas and others.
So now he doesn't want to stop himself?
I've done all I can do to stop the attack. I hope this proves whose side I'm on.
Then all this shit happens.
Don't leave me. I'm sorry, but it had to be this way.
And that's how the movie ends. What I took away from this, I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. Is Aaron Brand the bad guy?
He is objectively a bad guy. But again, Neil doesn't really understand the difference. So in his mind, he's a good guy.
I also love in the credits, he lists jobs that nobody did. But there's credits that says lighting and hair and makeup. And the person next to it just says none.
Yeah.
So that's the movie. That is Double Down.
Double dumb.
God damn it, Colin. So he never shut down the Vegas Strip. At all. Not for 2 months, not for 2 minutes. He didn't really do anything, really. Yeah, well, anyway, that's the end of the movie. So, boys, you know what time it is? Time to review this. So, today's question for Double Down. Are you guys going to give Double Down sex, love, or goop?
I think I'm going to give it sex.
I'm guessing because of all the butthole scenes.
I think I'm also going to go with sex. It was fun, but I don't have to do it again.
I'm going to give it a goop because I want Gwyneth Paltrow to make a Neil Breen taint candle and sell it at her store.
Oh, man.
All right, that about does it. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's been a blast. We hope you enjoyed Double Down. All right, take care. See ya.
Well,
bye.
Breen cocky. Cock, eating cock, consuming cock. Breen brine. I was waiting for it. Cock, massive dong. Cock, a whopper. Cock, Breen cock, 9/11.